Hello, this is Avery. I'm going to talk today about Babylon and how our American society is starting to reflect the Babylon both in Genesis and in Revelations. In Genesis, Babylon was comprised of people who wanted to basically bridge the gap between God and man. They sought to build a tower up to heaven and to be able to ascend back and forth between heaven and earth at will. They became prideful and began focusing on that and on themselves instead of the good thing about heaven, which is that God is there. So they became prideful, started focusing on that, and that is why God had to mix them up in language and have them scatter. Later in the Old Testament, we see Babylon as an empire. Jews were taken there against their will, had to work for the king, and obviously it was a very brutal system, as we can see by them being put in a furnace, stuff like that. And the Revelations version of Babylon is one where people are filled with fornication. They are giving into vices. They are focusing purely on themselves again. It takes the worst bits of Sodom and Gomorrah and the Babylonian Empire. If you look at American society, you will see that we have, in law, things that are starting to go against the scripture. Not only has it been made legal to like people of the other gender and to marry them, but it has become a popularity thing. Doing that makes you popular. Having gender dysphoria, where you think you're a gender you are not, has become popular. So not only are things being put into law where it's okay to do these things, it is become to where it's encouraged. Aside from that, polygamy is also encouraged. People are in churches. They can marry someone in a church, divorce them, marry somebody else in the church, divorce them, marry somebody else in the church. Nobody says a thing. And that might not sound like polygamy, but Jesus himself said that anyone who, if a woman is divorced and then marries another man, she commits adultery, and anyone who sleeps with her also is committing adultery. That shows that just because you get a divorce, unless it's for one of the three reasons he gave, it's adultery. Then, turning away from that, let's look at the wealth. People today will focus almost purely on wealth. Money is a very important thing in our society. And I don't have a thing against money. It's a great way to keep track of goods and services. However, it's gotten to a point where we care more about money and social standing than about what's actually right and true. At the rate we are going, far left ideals that are very anti-Christian, pushing for late-term abortion and pushing for the homosexuality and all of these other things that are against Christianity have taken over. We are becoming prideful. We are trying to say that we are the supreme beings, that there is no God, or that we don't need God. We are trying to make up our own rules, discounting the ones he gave us, and we're trying to pretend that we have the power to make up morality. America is becoming Babylon. If you disagree with anything I said or have any questions, please post in the comments below. If you want to know where I got the information, please read books about Daniel and Genesis and Revelations. Thank you. Goodbye.